What's up, graphic designers? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the very last class of the Teacher Reading Poster Project. Shout out to Dylan on this really fun visual featuring Miss McCabe, but I just want to give you a sneak preview of what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So tomorrow the VIPs are going to visit, and we're going to be using the photos that I took during the March Madness after school activity on, I believe it was March 27th. What amazing photos I was able to capture. And so here is what I know. I was able to think about, how are we going to take the ordinary? And, this is a really fun visual of Ernest. But how do we make the ordinary extraordinary? So here's what I know. We can pop in a fun background, apply some blending modes, and look at Ernest. If you had to think about, what habit of lab learners is he applying right now? Yeah, I would agree. He's observing closely. I think so, too. Certainly a habit of lab learners. And what I also know is I was just sort of experimenting. And when we apply this effect, it sort of looks like he's in his own world, right? And so he's in his own state of bliss as he's driving to the rim. And then because he's observing closely, I'm just sort of experimenting. I'm playing around. This looks fun. And actually, I think Arib and a few of you guys are in this image as well. You know what? If I were to find the original image, you would see some of you guys in the crowd. There's some amazing images of Dylan and Mac and Lindina and a lot of you guys participating in this activity. All right. So today we're wrapping this up. One of the things I appreciate about that Dylan was able to do is he's juxtaposing two specific colors. So we have this tan on blue, blue on tan, and we're going to use this template as we revise and finalize, ideally, our third image today. And we want to make sure that when we arrive to class, we're going to be selecting any of the teachers from 2 to 12, but let's keep looking at some of your visuals. Shout out to Mac. So I love that Mac has his visuals. I love he's got black on red, red on black with the Chicago Bulls color scheme. And he was able to take this blurb and wedge it in here. Well done, Mac. This looks cool. Thank you so much, Amarie. Now, one of the things I really appreciate that she did is she's got this sort of black rectangle sort of wedged up along the perimeter of the structure. However, what I don't love, and Amory's a great kid, I don't love how Faith is sort of obstructing this view of the hillside. We want to shift it over so there's a lot of contrast. So she's going to do that really quickly. Otherwise, this looks great. Well done. Thank you so much, Jesus. So I appreciate this visual, Miss Pallone. What I want you to strive to do is have this white rectangle shifted behind this background. And I believe Farzana did a similar visual. Shout out to Jesus. We got another one. This looks great featuring Miss Whalen. I appreciate it. Arib, I would love to see your logo in here, but otherwise this looks great. Well done. Thank you so much, Zichi, for swapping out the color scheme. This looks a little bit more dynamic, and the text pops in contrast with that monochromatic background. Thank you so much, Aiden. So Aiden, we're going to have Mr. Razavi in one word, and then Fight Like Hell, the title in one line, and then the author in another, kind of like we have right here. Well done, Ernest. Thank you so much for revising this blurb. This looks great. Yeah, I noticed you added some text. I love that. I appreciate that. And so you don't want to include NYC language map. Instead, Mr. T is encouraging you to use elements of the NYC language map in the background. So you're definitely going to do it today. Thank you so much, Naz. This looks good. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you, Brooke. Thank you, Obel. Obel's going to work on our second poster today. Zichi, this looks great. And I'm going to scroll forward until we get to this image. So many. You guys worked so hard. Teachers are looking forward to them. Maya, this looks great, although we're going to revise this. We need a new one for Jamika. Thank you so much. We got the Duffy image. And here is, this looks like the very, very first image. I'm going to notice and recognize, Jesus, that Farzana used the same background image, but she has the geometry, these rectangles tucked in underneath. I want you and everyone to strive to sort of execute that technique. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you have any questions. Can't wait to see your work on this final day. Good luck.